Have you ever felt stuck in a place that doesn't offer everything you dream of? In the cold, scarce lands of Northern Europe, one people face that reality every day. With little fertile land, long winters and few resources, the Vikings had two choices: wait for luck or challenge the world, and they chose the second. That pain of scarcity ignited in them a deep desire for conquest, adventure and freedom. Thus began one of the most impressive journeys in human history, the Viking Age of exploration. From a young age, Vikings were raised with tales of gods like Thor and Odin, heroes who faced unimaginable trials. This worldview prepared them to see the sea not as a limit, but as a path. Sailing wasn't just a skill, it was destiny. And with that mindset, their first expeditions began around the 8th century. With their famous drakars, long and agile ships, they started by exploring nearby islands, but soon ventured into increasingly distant territories. And if you're enjoying this journey so far, hit the like button to support the channel and help this story reach more history explorers like you. The Vikings' first major impact on European history happened in the British Isles. In 793, the raid on the Lindisfarne monastery wasn't just a pillage. It was the beginning of the Viking Age. Over time, they took control of northern England, where they established the Danelaw, a region under Viking rule. There they left not only physical traces, but also cultural ones, influencing city names, customs, and even political structures. In France, Viking raids intensified as well. After decades of conflict, King Charles the Simple tried a different approach. He offered land to a Viking leader named Rollo in exchange for peace. Thus, Normandy was born in 911. This agreement turned warriors into feudal lords, and the region would become one of the most powerful in medieval Europe, especially under Rollo's descendants like William the Conqueror. While some settled, others pushed further. Iceland was discovered by accident, by sailors lost in storms. But it quickly became home to hundreds of Norwegian families in search of freedom and opportunity. Ingolfur Arnarson was the first to establish a permanent settlement, and Icelandic society soon stood out for its organization and respect for law, founding the Althing, the world's first parliament. Exiled from Iceland, Eric the Red sailed even farther and discovered Greenland. Despite its extremely harsh climate, he founded colonies that survived for centuries, sustained by fishing, livestock, and a remarkable spirit of resilience. But that wasn't the end. His son, Leif Erikson, was even bolder. He crossed the ocean and reached North America, a historic feat only recognized centuries later. He named the new land Vinland and attempted to found a colony there, in what is now Canada. Though conflicts with indigenous peoples made long-term settlement difficult, the Vikings were the first Europeans to set foot in the Americas, nearly 500 years before Christopher Columbus. But the Vikings didn't only explore westward. In Eastern Europe, they sailed down great rivers like the Volga and the Dnieper, founding cities such as Kiev and Novgorod. Known as the Varangians in that region, they were instrumental in forming the first Russian states and in creating trade routes between the Baltic and Constantinople. Their influence can still be seen in Slavic culture and early politics. Even more surprising was their contact with the Islamic world. On their trade routes, Vikings reached the Caspian Sea and Central Asia. They traded furs and amber for textiles, coins, and spices. Viking tombs have revealed Oriental objects, proving that their commerce extended far beyond Europe. They were not just sailors, they were also diplomats, negotiators, and builders of bridges between distant worlds. The Viking legacy goes far beyond battles and invasions. They confronted the fear of the unknown and proved that it was possible to connect cultures separated by oceans and mountains. They showed that necessity can spark creativity, and that humanity's greatest achievements arise when we have the courage to leave our comfort zones. If you enjoyed this journey through the Viking world, leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more amazing stories like this, and drop a comment below. Which Viking exploration surprised you the most? Iceland, North America, or their contact with the Islamic world? Your opinion helps keep the flame of historical curiosity alive.